All right, time now for Scarlett's favorite segment of the day. She wouldn't even leave for this. It's Options Insight.
I'm staying put.
Standing by right now is Bloomberg's Abigail Doolittle, and she joins us on the phone with her guest. Abigail?
Thanks so much, Romaine and Scarlett. And joining me by Skype in Chicago is Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Scott, great to have you. And, you know, in a volatile time period, we're looking at a really whippy day. Relatively small moves, if you can call up 2%, down 4% small moves. But in this current phase of really large moves, it does feel kind of small. Talk to us about the role of quadruple witching in today's volatility.
You know, honestly, in the past, it has been one of the more volatile days of the year. It happens 4 times a year. But on a day like today, where we're already seeing volatility basically at record levels, I haven't seen really any sort of different trade today than we have over the last 2 to 3 weeks. Like you said, it is a little bit more compressed today, but we've still traded back and forth. Actually, if you include last night's session, we were almost in about a 10% range back and forth today.
So massive volatility. And yesterday, Scott, it felt as though there was the possibility of some sort of a brief, let's call it bear market relief rally, especially after the other day the 2018 low held. Do you think that there's still some possibility of that happening next week?
You know, I certainly hope so. And when I say I hope so, I'm not just flipping a coin. I'm hoping that yesterday what we saw, especially the last hour of the day, where we saw markets compress a little bit. We didn't see the massive move in that last 45 minutes of the day like we've seen over the last 3 weeks. That's what this market needs right now. The market needs to see a little bit of contraction. Even if it's still slightly biased to the downside, that's okay. If we start to get that volatility contraction, that really will start to put in what could be a bottom to this market.
Yes, that certainly felt like a sign of stability. It'll be interesting to see whether or not it can carry through into next week. And the VIX, interestingly, for the first time since early February, down 2 days in a row, so maybe good news for next week. Very quickly, talk to us about Gilead, which amazingly is up more than 10% this year.
Yeah. So obviously everybody knows what Gilead's been doing with the CDC and everything with coronavirus. Massive premiums, just like everywhere else. It has been trading in a range, though, Abigail, over the last few weeks. I'm selling next week's 70-65 put spread. I'm also selling next week's 85-90 call spread, selling the downside, selling the upside. I can collect a massive amount of premium of about $2.50 for that. And as long as Gilead stays in that range, 67.5, 87.5 till next week, I'm great, completely risk defined on the trade.
Always love chatting markets with you, Scott. Have a great weekend, and thank you for joining us for Options Insight. Romaine, back to you.
All right, our thanks there to Abigail Doolittle. From New York, this is Bloomberg.